Hello everyone, what's going on? How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. Of course, guys, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, put your notifications on, all that lovely jazz, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me just clear this off so you can see that. Let me just do this for you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, guys, you're absolute legends. Of course you are. Now, look, you know what? There's rarely a 24 hours that goes by that there isn't a little bit of news around Man United. There isn't someone saying something, you know what I mean? And not least last night, a gentleman came out and started speaking about the Qatar ownership, the potential Qatar takeover of Manchester United. He came out with some very, very damning quotes, guys, about how the Glazers and Ineos, let's put them in the same bracket, want Manchester United to purposely fail. Almost want Man United to purposely fail. But what does he mean by that? How would Ineos want Man United to purposely fail? I want to know why, how that would happen. Why would they want that? Now, look, there are many reasons I can explain, but a lot of people won't understand. They think I'm being stupid. They think I'm being crazy. But, you know, the thing about maintaining, there's a difference between maintaining and being successful. So, you know, if you maintain, you can still earn money. Arsenal were doing the same thing a few years ago, about a decade ago, when they were qualifying for the Champions League, and they were happy with that. And the thing is, if you maintain, right, let me just tell you how this works, right? If you maintain, you don't have to spend as much money to maintain. Do you know what I mean? So basically, yeah, it'd be lovely to win the league. It'd be lovely to win the Champions League and da-da-da. But you get the money for getting into the Champions League. You carry on maintaining, you get in the Champions League, and you just have a team to maintain and not challenge, you're going to get in the Champions League anyway. So you spend less money, and ultimately, you make more Skrilla, don't you, at the end of the day? So the Qatar gentleman, he's head of sport and entertainment in Qatar, Khalid Jassem, of course, at Khalid Jassem on Twitter. He said, if Qatar achieved dominance with a team like PSG, who have no heritage, can one imagine what they would have done with a team like Manchester United? He also alluded to the fact that the Glazers and ownership were almost purposely creating failure. Now, guys, I'm not going to say this is untrue because I've explained how this could happen. Obviously, the less expectation. This is precisely why, guys, when I'm on the stream and I talk about, don't talk about we can't do this. Don't talk about we can't get Luis Enrique. Don't let them hear you say that, because at the end of the day, they love that. Even though that a Luis Enrique that is backed will get us to the promised land, you know, at the end of the day, if you say don't get Luis Enrique, they'll be so happy that the fans are happy with Carrick, the fans are happy with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, etc., etc. And this is not down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick. Big respect to them, and I wish them all the best. But what I'm talking about is that they want you to have lower standards so that they don't have to spend. And this is society. It's a business thing, right? Billionaires want to spend as least as possible to get as high as possible, right? Well, some anyway. Our ones do. Qatar wouldn't, but our owners are probably pound for pound the worst ownerships in football. And they are pound for pound. They're the worst ownerships in football. So basically, it's failure, isn't it? They would like you to maintain a lower have the lowest, basically, team for the highest possible result. You know what I mean? So basically, they want a team that is the cheapest they could possibly make it to qualify for the Champions League. So you get into the Champions League like fourth place, just about by the skin of your teeth sort of thing. But you're never going to challenge for the league title. And that is what purposely failure means. That's what purposeful failure is. And this is what I believe. I've been thinking about this for a while. They're happy with that. It also lowers expectation. And over the years, it lowers expectation and the fan base become satisfied. For example, fourth place. When I was growing up supporting Man United, fourth place, people think you're absolutely bonkers. You're happy with fourth place. Are you mad? Are you happy with fourth place? People think you're absolutely bonkers. But I would like to know, if Qatar did take the football club, right, where we would be. Now, what he said, Man United be dominating. Yeah. Man United would be dominating. And thanks to those self-righteous, virtual signaling people out there that know nothing about Qatar, know nothing about the Middle East. We're not going to do that now. You know, we would have dominated football. We would have had, whether it's Ruben Amorim in charge, Luis Enrique, we would have went a different direction probably. Who knows what would have happened, you know. But one thing's for certain, that manager would have been backed. The money would have been in. The FFP would have been fantastic because it would have cleared off the debt. And that's what it is, guys. And we ruined that opportunity. Jim Ratcliffe ruined that opportunity. I don't understand that anyone in their right mind could back this fraud called Jim Ratcliffe. Absolutely. I mean, I lose all respect to people who back him. I do. Look, when it first came into the football club, I thought, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. But when you're sacking hundreds, if not thousands of people from the football club that equate to only a few million, and then you go and sack Ruben Amorim, which actually dwarfs what you spent sacking people, you could have easily kept those people at the football club. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? But we have what we have, and this is exactly what it is at the end of the day. And it is expected that Michael Carrick becomes the interim manager of Man United. I wish Michael Carrick the best of luck. He's going to need it. I wish him luck, and I want him to succeed. And that is most basically what it is. We have gone back. Of course, we've gone back. I hope we can move forward. It's going to be very difficult. But the question remains, if Michael Carrick has a fantastic season, he gets into the Champions League, it's going to be very difficult to say, no, we're not going to give you a contract, Michael. Sorry, mate. We're going to give it to someone else, Nagelsmann or De Zerbi or something like that, or Tuchel. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of him. I wouldn't mind, because obviously we'd be in vibes. Man United qualify for the Champions League. Big part of it's thanks to Ruben Amorim, by the way, you know, getting us on that position. But you know what? I would just say that just to see what happens. And he's going to be thrown in the deep end. Manchester City, of course, guys, that is the game. And then we got Arsenal. So no rest for the wicked. He's going to, you know, he's going to be tested. He's going to be tested. Now, if he goes in Man City game, we lose comfortably. If we go in the Arsenal game, we lose comfortably. Then people are going to be like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh, this is even worse. And then we can all of a sudden be 5th place, 3 points from 4th, all the way down to about 15th again. Well done. Well done. But I hope he succeeds. I hope he succeeds, and I hope he does very well at Man United, and we pull off some surprises. We beat Man City, we beat Arsenal, and then we go on there and we go on this run, a miraculous run. I mean, those players have done it before, haven't they? They go on these miraculous runs and stuff like that. These players obviously are not good enough. You can't teach them new tricks and old dog new tricks and all that. We need new players. Of course we do, of course, guys. But it doesn't look like this window. It doesn't look like Man United are going to do any business. Now, there was talk about them saying they're going to back Carrick. Now, what does that mean? They're going to back Carrick. Carrick's an interim. Why would they back Carrick, who is an interim, who is a temporary manager, unless it's already agreed that eventually he's going to be the first team manager? Because I don't think that they would back a manager that is an interim. They won't. They won't even back Ruben Amorim, their own guy. How are they going to back Ruben? How are they going to back Michael Carrick? My feeling is this. Oh, we'll wait until the summer. You know, we're going to wait until we get everything sorted out in regards to the manager. They played a blinder here, guys. This is exactly what they wanted to do. Exactly what they wanted, to bring in an interim. And then, you know what? Don't spend any money. Perfect for them. Perfect for them. No money spent. Hey, that's what it is, guys. You know what I mean? And there we go with this absolute farce, absolute clownerism. And that's what it is. I make a new word, guys, clownerism. And clownerism is a word that describes the Manchester United owner, Jim Ratcliffe, and the Glazers. Absolutely, guys. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Look, Qatar speaking up, good. Important people in the Qatar as well, millions of subscribers and things like that. So at the end of the day, this is good. And put pressure on Ineos, tap them, say what you want to say about them. Because at the end of the day, if anyone is coming out of this whole situation smelling the roses, it's Qatar, right? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to buy the football club. They're the ones who are going to buy the football club fully, and they would have changed Man United. They would have absolutely changed Man United. You know, we thought we could manage Manchester United with a prehistoric ownership, right, in 2025. You know, and there we go, guys. When Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle have got billionaires who love to spend money. And wait till Newcastle, guys, start getting more fans. They're not spending at the moment because they're FFP and PSR, because they ain't really got any fans. That Newcastle are big in Newcastle. Anywhere else, they're not big. But you wait until they get more fans, and then you see Newcastle's fruit of their labor. They're going to start climbing. You watch, and then we're going to be dwarfed, guys. We're going to be like, get down, get down, get down. That's what we're going to be. And you know what? Thank you to the Ineos bootlickers out there who facilitated all this here, right? And gave Jim Ratcliffe a boost. There you go, guys. And that's what I would say. But it's not a bad time for Man United. Even like the overlap, even on the overlap, I was watching Wayne Rooney and that, and they were criticizing Ineos, and they were criticizing them and saying it's an absolute disgrace what's going on at the football club. Is a mess. And it is a mess. Everyone is saying it. Even Troy Deeney, for goodness sake. You know, it's ridiculous, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. But we have to see what happens, of course, in the future, and I wish Man United the best. Good morning, Shokri. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the community, of course, guys. I hope you're doing well. Why did they not back Amorim? Jokes on that, my manager. And absolutely jokes. Look, we sat Ruben Amorim, right, which cost 27 million. We could have got, guys, I know we didn't, but we could have got a midfielder in there. We could have got a Ruben Neves. We could have got Conor Gallagher. Speaking of Conor Gallagher is going to Tottenham Hotspur. Another team that are in and around where we are going to take us over, guys. Don't worry about that, of course. David, big up yourself. Our board bring people on to fail. Yes, basically. Well, when you look at what they've done so far in regards to Ashford, in regards to Eric Ten Hag when they gave him a contract, and in regards to Ruben Amorim as well, you know, and all the people that were at the football club, their main thing is sacking. I don't know what it is, but they're a failure football team. That's what they are. They want a failure football team. They want us to fail. I actually think that they want us not to fail. Let me correct myself, but to get the bare minimum, to pay the bare minimum to get the maximum. Pay the bare minimum to get the maximum. That's what they want, and that is the type of ownership we didn't need. Right, a penny pinching ownership, a pound land, pound stretchers. If you're in the UK, you know ownership. That is basically what it is. You know, save money, pound stretchers, save money, get profit. You know what I mean? Big up my friend Sal, big up Jan Sad for us, mostly fake. Big up Sal, big up Santos. What's going on? Without any signings, Carrick won't do anything. Our dumb owners won't learn from them his past mistakes. Santos, I think they're doing it on purpose, mate. I mean, at the end of the day, these things are just there. They don't want anyone to answer back to them. They don't want anyone to speak up. They don't want a voice. They don't want a personality. Ruben Amorim will be proven to be a very good manager elsewhere. He's going to be a good manager. I'm hearing stories that Real Madrid like him, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would love him to go to Real Madrid. I would love that. That'd be funny. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, Ruben Amorim, you know, is the perfect manager for Man United. Unfortunately, people don't have the patience, the perseverance, personality, or the cojones to see this through. And that is exactly what it is at the end of the day. We talk a good game. We talk about standards a lot. Man United fan base talk about standards a lot, but none of them know how to get to standards. None of them know what it takes to get to standards, the effort that it takes to get to standards. I've had people online, last night, guys, comparing Manchester United to Real Madrid. They're comparing the sacking. They're comparing the sacking of Ruben Amorim to Alonso. That's what they're doing at the moment. This is how stupid and crazy these Amorim outers or hate Amorim people are. They're ridiculously mad and stupid. You're comparing Real Madrid to Man United. Real Madrid, who are run by an animal beast. They win trophies. They've won Champions League, leagues. They got a world-class squad. They're run by, they run the right way. We're run by absolute incompetent bitches. And this is what it is at the end of the day. And people comparing that, look at Real Madrid. Look at Real Madrid, the way they just sacked him with a blah, blah, blah percent win record, blah, blah, blah percent win record. My goodness me. How dumb must you be to come out with those sort of opinions, guys? How absolutely incompetent must you be to come up with such a stupid opinion like that? Just read my tweet on Twitter. I said it as it is on Twitter, guys. And I cannot believe that what I'm hearing with these people. Honest to God, we're honestly, guys, we're seriously doing this. We are honestly comparing the sacking of Xabi Alonso to Ruben Amorim. We're comparing Man United to Real Madrid here, because if we are, then the conversation and them people have lost all credibility to me. in my opinion. Not that they had any, but they've lost all credibility. Look, let me just say this right now. Real Madrid are not a theoretical project, right? They are a finished empire. They are the Real Madrid are not a project. They are an empire, right? And that is what I said. They've dominated Europe for a decade. Just look at their goddamn squad, for crying out loud, guys. You look at the people who can't get on their bench, who can't get in their team. Look at the people, guys, who can't get in their team. Just look at them. And people are comparing. Guys, you know, people are comparing Real Madrid to Man United. Look, guys, Mbappe, Højlund, Bellingham, Kobe Mainoo, Carreras, Diego Dalot, Vinicius Jr., Garnacho, Courtois, Onana, Rodrigo, Atini, Rudiger, Maguire, Camavinga, Ugarte. Shall we just go on and on and on and on and on? Gula is on the bench for them. You know what I mean? You can't even get a game. You know, and that's what we're talking about here. Absolute crazy nutcases. I'm telling you, absolute nutcases. Delusions of Gunja, and they're absolutely hateful, sinister characters. A lot of them have hidden profiles, or they're ugly, and that's it. Max, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up. No, we won't get any transfers in January, and likely in the summer. Sal, they have no shame. They make appointment Carrick signings. The Carrick's not going to get any signings. I can bet your bottom dollar. Good every day, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So now, look, let me just bring in a little bit of news about Man United and signings. I want to talk a little bit briefly about a player that Man United are interested, but he's a young player. His name's Bruno Derdov. He plays for Hajduk Split. He's Croatian. Guys, he's 18 years old, a right winger. Man United are earmarking for a potential 3 million transfer. Nothing major, but Bruno Derdov is a player that they've been looking at for a while and scouting for a while, and he's one player that they want to bring in. He plays for Hajduk Split as a right winger, 3 million. One player that Man United were potentially looking to bring in on loan is France under 20 international Robinho Vaz. Now, Robinho Vaz is a centre forward playing for Marseille, but he's got caps for under 20 French. But he looks like he's going to be going on loan to Roma. Manchester United were interested in Robinho Vaz, and they were looking to bring him on loan, but we have missed the trick. Chelsea were also interested. Man United have missed the trick in regards to that one. Robinho Vaz and Bruno Derdov. A little bit of transfer news coming out the airwaves today, of course, guys. So there you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kenny, please, Twitter are comparing our standards to Real Madrid. These people are for real mental. They're mental, Kenny. Mental, as Big Nasty once said. They're absolutely crazy, mate. Absolutely thick as fuck. I'll tell you guys, honest to God, I'll be honest, guys. Look, I'm telling you, like, you know what? You've got these people with big platforms and little brains. It's just ridiculous. You're comparing Real Madrid to Man United right now. This Man United, maybe 20, 30 years ago. But this Man United, Real Madrid, who've been serial winners this last 20 years, we've been serial losers. Come on, guys. Wake up. Wake up. We're owned by Jim Ratcliffe. This is what we're talking. This is why the Ruben Amorim Alters argument falls down. Because at the end of the day, they don't understand that to get to standards, you need to create a foundation to get to those standards. Real Madrid have had that foundation for years and years and years and years. They've had it for years and years and years. We ain't got a foundation. We're leaking roofs. We got broken floors, derelict, asbestos, you name it, we're awful. And then we're comparing anything to add weight to their dead narrative. That is it at the end of the day. Beware of these idiots, guys. Beware of these idiots. Big up, Coco. How you doing, my friend? I can't wait to see Amorim succeed elsewhere. Me too, mate. Me too. Big up, Sal. Hope we have a good day on my way to work. Thank you so much, Garrett. Have a great day, my friend. Have a great day, my friend. Drinking Glinioso. Yeah, Gliniosade. Don't give them any ideas, Max. They might invent a drink called Gliniosade. Yeah, absolutely. David, my wife laughed at me last time. I was watching Liverpool's when they scored. I changed the channel. She asked me why. I said, I can't stomach the arse team. Sorry for my language. David, I don't blame you, mate. But at the end of the day, what do we say, David? They run properly. They run properly like proper. They ain't even having a good season, and they're doing better than us. You know, I know they spent $500 million and blah, 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 but they're not even having a good season, and they're doing better than us. We can't even banter these teams anymore. We're out of the FA Cup. They're through to the next round. I know they had an easier game. It would have been nice to play Barnsley or Exeter. That would have been lovely for Man United. That would have settled Darren Fletcher down a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, did we? Got a Premier League team again. Albie. The only one I wish would shut up and have more move on is Gary Neville. He does nothing but hate on United, everyone but his mates. Absolutely. Xabi Alonso left Real Madrid on his terms. Yep, exactly, Kenny. 32 trophies, highest in the world versus Man United. And just look how many Champions Leagues they won. Look how many Champions League, look how many league titles they won in a lot since Alex Ferguson left. Just go and look at that, and then people can start talking about that. Go and look how much money they spent and how many players they've got and what caliber of players they got. More importantly, absolutely ridiculous, man. Honest to God, these people appointing a coach who fits the club's philosophy. It's a good if he has quality players. Amram was a good coach, but the board don't support Amram. But when he speaks the truth, was sat. You owners, wake up. They need to leave. Leave. Ephraim, Sal, when Amram is there, they said he has to get the best out of the players. Now they are saying that the players are not good enough. They're hypocrites. They're bad. Exactly that. Anything that is going to add weight to their dead opinion. That is it. If it could be molded into something to fit their narrative, they will bring it into it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Some people run their mouth so much, it makes me wonder how they're £500. Savior, how can the players now the time of Amram and they failed to sign Wyatt? How can they sign players now the time of Amram they failed to sign Wyatt? I know, mate. I know, but it just shows you that what incompetent fools they are. They set up. It's just going to be they devalued the whole squad over the next 5 months. You know what I would say, right? I just got a nasty feeling. I haven't got a good feeling, Mark. You know, I haven't. I want to have a good feeling. I want to feel positive. I want to feel enthusiastic. And people know me on this stream. They know I'm incredibly positive. They know that. And the thing is, I don't feel like that anymore. Once they did dictatorship was exposed last week, which it is a dictatorship, I had given up all hope, my guy. I'd given up all hope. I'd given up, forget about it. Forget about it. We're not a proper football club. That was it. You know, and they ain't got a clue what's going on. They ain't got a clue what they're going to do next. They ain't got no one lined up, nothing in like that, ridiculous and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Kenny, we would have actually got Liverpool if we had beaten Brighton. It is what it is. I would have liked that. Would have beaten them. Ranjit, what's going on? Glynis are simply not rich enough to sort United out. Need 500 million on the team. Near for 2 years to compete with City. Amram was betrayed. He was betrayed. They've got the money. Jim is rich enough, Ranjit. He had enough money to potentially buy Chelsea for 4 billion. Where did that 4 billion go? Do you know what I mean? Where did that 4 billion go that he was going to buy Chelsea? Every time I mention this, it's like a vampire to the cross. Every time I mention that. What about the 4 billion? You know the Ineos bootlickers. Every time I mention what happened to the 4 billion that Jim Ratcliffe was going to buy Chelsea with, it's like that. Don't talk about that. You know what I mean? You can't hit them with facts. That's the thing about it, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. This club, the way this club is run, the way this club is going at the moment, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I wish Carrick the very, very best of luck. He's going to get my full, unwavered support, and I will support him to the very end, guys. I will. But I do not, in my opinion, see light at the end of the tunnel. I hope I'm proven wrong. But we have got bad owners. We got bad pre-owners as well, second owners. If anyone, like, you know what, who would have thought it'd get worse under the glazes that we had Ineos? Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Let's be honest. Ratcliffe is a Chelsea fan, and he would love to have them instead of us. Yes, because he tried to buy Chelsea before. He does love Chelsea, and everything that we're trying to do is a bit like Timo Chelsea. We're Timo FC, Timo Chelsea FC. That's what we are. Everything we do, we copy Chelsea, and that's what we do. The way we do transfers, the way the contracts are, we're trying to imitate Chelsea, and we are not Chelsea. We're Manchester United. For goodness' sake, we are not Chelsea here. You know, and he's trying to imitate Chelsea, and it's quite obvious he's a Chelsea fan. He loves the caviar. He loves going to London. He loves sitting in those VIP suites and doing all that business. David, There's so much negativity around United. It's hard to be positive, but we are United. It took us 26 years to get where we are. We need those positive United fans. The Glazers, Ineos must sell, please. The only way that's going to happen, the positivity will come back, David, when Man United sell the club, which I don't think they're going to sell the club, mate. And the reason I don't think they're going to sell the club right now is precisely because of the fans. The fans are too nice. The fans are not scary. They're not like ultras. We want Glazers out. Say, we want Glazers out. You know what's coming? Hit the hut, the hibbity, hibbity, hit the hut, the don't start, the boogity, boogity, bee. Now, I want us to unite. I want us to be scary again. I want us to be intimidating like we were. We were more intimidating in 2005 than we are right now, guys. We were. Look at the riots when the Glazers took charge of the football club. If you look at it, we need the Glazers out, and we need Ineos out, and we need a big, I don't care who it is, if it's Qatar, if it's Apple, if it's Amazon, whoever it is, we need someone who's going to buy the club fully, clear our debt, and then we'll be fine. But Kenny, I hope Carrick does well to the end of the season, but this next season, back to reality under Glinios. This is the thing. Carrick is not a tactical mastermind. Ruben Amorim is tactically better than Michael Carrick. It's simple as that. So we're hoping that we get by with vibes. I'm not downplaying Carrick, but he's certainly not a tactical magician. So we got to look at things realistically. You might get a new manager bounce, fantastic for Manchester United. But what our new manager bounces, they're a bouncy Castle FC. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's it. And then you end up deflating. That's exactly what happens to Man United. They earn about 5 million a match. We only get 40 games now. That's another 50, 60 million they are missing. I think they are now financially struggling. You know what's going to save them, Mark, my guy, is the regeneration project. That's going to save them, because the regeneration project will bring about opportunity. It bring about franchises. It bring about concerts. It bring about sponsorships, hotels, you name it. The regeneration project is what they're latching onto, what they're hoping to keep, and what they're hoping. That's what they're waiting for. If the regeneration project fails, they're both, the Glazers and Ineos, are in big, big trouble. Man United are only scary to our own fan base. We're scary to ourselves. We scare ourselves. We look at them in, you know what I mean? We are not scary to anyone, not anymore. We used to be very scary. We used to have a very, very strong firm. We were very feared around England and Britain. If you know, you know. And nowadays we're not. We're like, yeah, let me give a picture with Fred the Red. Hey, you know what I mean? And things like that. And we're just not that team anymore. We're not intimidating. We're not scary. We call ourselves the Red Devils. We might as well call ourselves Red Barney. You know what I mean? And we might as well wear purple. We might as well have a purple kit and say, here we are. Here's Barney. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. Because at the end of the day, that is what we are at the moment, guys. Kumbaya FC. That's what we are, guys. An absolute farce of a football team. You know what I mean? I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? We want Glaze out. Say, we want Glaze out. They hit the hut. They hibbity, hit the hut. Don't start the boogity, boogity, bee. More aggression, guys. More aggression. But you know what? What I would say is that best of luck to 1958. Go and do your thing. But we know what hits the Glazers. We know what hits them. It's their pockets that hurts them. When we cancelled the Liverpool game, that is when they had a Zoom meeting with Avram Glazer. Now, I don't know what happened then, whether they got gassed. Oh my God, I'm speaking to the Glazers. Oh, you know what I mean? I don't know what happened because everything went quiet after that. I don't know whether they put some witch spell on them or something, but at the end of the day, everything went quiet after that. Get Apple to buy Man United. That would be lovely. And we can get a giant iPad stadium. Every single Man United fan gets an iPad. There you go, guys. There you go, Albie. Big up yourself. I'm in South Africa. How do we try and get them out if it is possible? I see margins. Every little helps, David, whether it's online, whether you create a movement and website, on Twitter. Every little helps. Every single Manchester United fan around the world, 1 billion of us, has a chance to make a difference. Social media is a big thing. If you're in South America, social media is a big thing. If you're in South Africa, excuse me, social media is a big thing because obviously they look at social media. Now, the reason they didn't get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is because they looked at social media and they looked at reactions, and they're always into the share prices and stuff like that. They look at the share prices. Oh, Solskjaer's going to affect the share prices. We can't get Ole. We need to get, Carrick. Let's try Carrick here. You know what I mean? Mark, Carrick sacked by Middlesbrough to be placed by Southgate, also sacked by Middlesbrough. We might as well get Southgate, mate, honestly. But, you know, what I would say is best of luck to Michael Carrick. That's all I can say, guys. I can't say anything more than that, but best of luck to Michael Carrick. I hope Michael Carrick does well. Knowing who Michael Carrick, having heard about Michael Carrick, what he's like as a character, he's very quiet. He's reserved. You never see him on the interviews talking the rubbish. He doesn't talk a lot, so you won't get many interviews from him. Tactically, he's very smart, and that's a good thing. He knows his football. That's a good thing. Disciplinarian, I'm not too sure how he is as a disciplinarian. He was a Manchester United captain, remember? So maybe he can. He knows the club inside out. But as we know, that's not the be-all and end-all. How complicated Man United are to fix is what Ruben Amorim was trying to do, which is Man United are very complicated to fix. Man United is absolutely in the mud in regards to where we are as a football team. We were trying to save that. Our players are not good enough. Our team is not good enough. Our structure is not good enough. Everything about us, our facilities are not good enough, is not good enough. And Ruben Amorim was trying to fix that. And it's complicated. It's not just, come on, lads, get the ball, have a kick around, on me head, son. That's it. Oof it. Clear it. Go on. Oof it. Get it out. 4-4-2, son. 4-4-2 all day. Big man up front, mate. Big man up front. We have two big dudes in the defense. We have a big goalie and we have a big man up front. So what you do, guys, you get the ball and you hoof it up to the big man up front. That's it, son. There you go, guys. Absolutely. You just hoof it up front. There you go. Get the second ball. Make sure you win the second ball. Man on, son. Man on. You know what I mean? Glory to Man United. Sad, guys, but sad. Big up. Yeah, absolutely. Ranjit, only emptying stadium will get the Glazers out. Optics and advertising respectives be too bad for them. Absolutely. That's the only way to do it, is hit them where it hurts. The pockets, the sponsorships. These are where they get their bread and butter. This is where they get their money from. This is where it's from. The stadiums, emptying the stadium. And what that does. Now, look, the reason I created something, guys, now hear me out. Let me land, bruv. Let me land. Hear me out, right? I created something called the 1958 movement, the 58th movement, hashtag 58th movement. And, you know what I mean? Now, that was basically in the 58th minute of the game, fans leave the stadium, right? And I did that for a game against Wolves many years ago, about 2018-19. Few people left. Fair enough, guys. A few people left. And that's what I was trying to do, because if fans leave the stadium at a certain time, just remember that these games, right, Man United games in particular, they're being shown all around the world, and what impact that would have had, you know. Unfortunately, only a few left, but you know, I tried my best. You know, the fans have got to do what they got to do. They got to start uniting. We got to start uniting as a fan base. This is the only way we're going to get the Ineos out, guys, if we start uniting as a fan base rather than bickering little arguments. Unfortunately, within the fan base, there's a few people, in particular on social media, that have egos and narcissists that just want to be right. You know what I mean? That is it. They just want to be right and argue. And they don't talk to debate. They talk to be right. And that's where the biggest problem is. Regardless if you throw them with the facts, you give them the facts. They just want to be right. That's it. Even though they're arguing for irritants in the end of the day. Max, I'm in the opinion that further along, this whole situation will continue further away. We are going from our standards. This is the thing. What I'm talking about standards, Max. A lot of people talk about standards. There's loads of people talk about standards, in particular Man United fan base. And looking at them, they weigh about 80, 90 stone, talking about standards, right? So what I would say is this. To reach standards, you don't just go in the gym and get a six-pack the first day, do you? You don't go in the gym and you're Arnold Schwarzenegger after one session, do you? At the end of the day, you don't run, a 5K run in a quick time the first time you run, right? This is the problem with people. They talk a lot about standards, but they don't know how to get to standards. And that is the biggest thing about them. They talk a lot about standards. They think that Real Madrid got to there like that. That's what they think. So they think now Man United all of a sudden can be like Real Madrid right now. Boom, we're Real Madrid. We're Real Madrid right now. You know what I mean? Go gadget Real Madrid. There we go. We're Real Madrid. It's ridiculous, guys. It's insanity, guys. You know, you, Diego Dalot. Click my fingers. You're going to be prime Carfu. There you go, guys. You're going to be prime Carfu, Dalot. You're prime Carfu. Harry Maguire, you are prime Nemanja Vidic. You're the new Nemanja Vidic. Dorgu, you are Roberto Carlos. Dorgu is Roberto Carlos. Absolutely. Casemiro, you are 20 years younger. You know, Bruno, you have all of a sudden become prime Kaka, prime Pirlo in that midfield. You know, it's insanity, guys. And these people are just, I don't know whether they're sound bites. I don't know whether they're bots. I don't know whether they're paid by someone. But some of the opinions they come out with, in particular this Real Madrid, this is a reason that these Amram outers, now Amram's gone, but I call them Amram outers, and I call them sinister, bitter little individuals, that they are being schooled online. They are being mocked online. They're being made a mockery. A mockery. Now, if we don't beat Man City, and I hope we beat Man City, if we don't beat Arsenal, and we lose those 2 games, guys, you know what? We're far worse off now at the FA Cup, way down in the league. That is going to be a fact, guys, you know? David, we have big game on Saturday. We need out the guys' mentality to be strong and go out there and show them what we can do. I don't think the players are happy, Dave. I've heard that the players are not happy about the sacking. That's what I've heard. Only takes a few, you know what I mean? It only takes a few to disturb the apple bowl, doesn't it? Daryl, doesn't matter what manager comes in, nothing will change till the board are gone. Agreed, Daryl. Big up, Daryl. Hope you're well. Big up, Kula. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Mark, what's going on, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Mark Harris. No new signings and Carrick on 75 quid a week to 2 meat pie lunch allowance on the cheap stats. Mate, you know what? I don't even think you're bantering now. I think that could actually be a thing, you know. Food vouchers. Food vouchers at Old Trafford, you know. Old Trafford has a very expensive fish and chips, guys. If you ever go to Old Trafford, they got one of the most expensive fish and chips you can ever imagine. It tastes like shit. Mark, should I triple captain Haaland in my FFP team week or Semenyo? Should I triple Haaland, mate? Haaland. Runaway 5, bros. Big up, my friend. What's going? Runway 5, bros. What's going on, my guy? Hope you're well. Cooler, I am sad to say this now, but majority of the squad are spineless players who don't care if they are shit today and tomorrow because they know that the coach manager will get sacked if they remain. Exactly that, Cooler. What message does sacking Ruben Amorim do to those players? We can get the manager sacked if we don't want to do something, if we don't want to do that formation, if we don't want to listen to the manager, if we don't like the coach, we can get them sacked. What kind of culture does that bring to the football club? What does that do? Does that help us? Does that help us long term? The mind space. Hi, mate. Big up yourself. Messaged you last night on Twitter with some goss. I think I read it. Let me read it. You are red. Oh, yeah. I was going to mention it, the Mindspace. Thank you, Mindspace, by the way. Thank you, mate. Conor Gallagher, according to my source here, the Mindspace, Red74, go and follow him. According to him, Conor Gallagher was going to come to Man United. He wanted to go to Man United, but because Ruben Amorim was sacked, he didn't go to Man United. And I don't blame him. Can I be honest? That's my opinion of that. I don't blame Conor Gallagher for not wanting to go to Manchester United after Ruben Amorim sacking, because when you look at Man United, how can we're now, guys, we're in the realms of we're less attractive than Tottenham. Ruben Amorim was an attractive proposition to play under, by the way. I know that a lot of people talking their smack, but he was an attractive manager to play under, like in regards to his system. And now you look at Man United, no one really wants to play for Man United now. We're not attractive. We're not. Why are we attractive? All due respect to Michael Carrick. Do you want to play, do you want to play under Michael Carrick or do you want to play under another manager? Man United is just not that team anymore. It's not only that, it's about the toxicity that surrounds Man United as well. The absolute clownerism that surrounds Man United at the moment is peak. Big up, my friend, Max. Big up, man. Dallo, Portuguese Trent Alexander-Arnold. Arnold is better than him, 10 times better than Kenny. Alexander-Arnold can at least whip a ball in the box, Yeah. They're just sound bites, absolutely. AFM, United not going to shake off the shackles. Culture and behaviour ingrained and deeply intertwined. Glazers has to go. Otherwise, we consign ourselves to years of misery. Now, what we have to do, guys, it's very important what Afad said there, right? Big up Afad, my friend. The most important thing is remove Ineos and the Glazers, but removing Ineos will be like taking a life support machine from the Glazers' bed. Once the Ineos have gone, the Glazers' life support machine, their financial support is gone, guys. Child Support FC is gone, guys. It's over. Those kids reached 18 years old. They're not going to be getting any more child support anymore. Out comes the plug. They are in big problems. They are there. They're looking at that regeneration project, which is why they sent a letter to the Manchester Council in 2017, guys, before Ineos came to the football club, about this regeneration project. You know, so they know, Jim and the Glazers know that this is a gold mine. The government pays for it. We own it. The government pays for it. We own it. Mad. Can the Amram Alters and Mainu Inners please comment on the shit show Mainu showed against Brighton? They won't, mate, because they'll come out of a narrative. Oh, look, he done that pass. He done that pass. He passed the ball. Wow. He passed the ball. Kobe Mainu passed the ball. Can you believe it? I mean, what kind of football club are we when Kobe Mainu did the things he did in the last couple of weeks and he still gets let off the hook? You know what I mean? Soft touch FC, guys. Ian Bill FC. I've got nothing left. I haven't got anything left. We ain't got anything right as well. We're in the centre. We're useless. We ain't got anything up here. We ain't got no heart. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. We're not Man United anymore. The last time 1958 pretended the Glazers got to them back and stopped this time, they've got to be more relentless and don't stop to force them out. Jim Ratcliffe will crack. Exactly, Dave. They've proven what we can do. We've proven as a group, as a fan base, what we can do together. Unity. We are together. We bleed red. We love Manchester United as much as the next one. We all love Manchester United. No matter where we are in the world, we love this football club and I will forever love this football club. But we got to do what we got to do. We got to fight the fight. And I applaud 1958. And the reason I applaud them is because at least they're doing something. But when you do it, make it worth it. Make it worthwhile. Let's not make it a chant. Let's not make it a normal day on a Saturday afternoon at a football match where they're chanting things against the other team. It's nothing there. The Glazers don't care about that. The Glazers don't care about we want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. They don't care about that. They care about what hits their pocket. What's going to hit their pocket? What's going to affect them? Cancelling football matches. Now, if you cancel football matches, what's going to happen is the FA and FIFA and UEFA will get involved. They will say, what the hell is going on here? You've got to sort this out now. What's this shit show? We can't go into these meetings with the Glazers, and the Glazers are going to try and twang you and try and manipulate you, thinking, oh, but we got this plan, we got that plan, we're going to spend this money, we're going to buy Belabor, we're going to buy Belabor. You know what I mean? Like they did last time, and the protest got cancelled. We say, no, we're not interested. Look, we're not interested. This Zoom call is over. You need to sell the football club now. Sell the football club now. That's what you need to do. That is what the Glazers need to do. And Jim, and leave our football club alone. You know? Unfortunately, there's only 1 billion Man United supporters out there. If each one of us gave 10 pounds, maybe we can get them out. Maybe we can own a football club again. Maybe that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Mark Harris, big up yourself. The best highlight was the passion and fight of CLAC future baller. Very promising. Yeah, and I thought it was a very, very harsh decision to give Shea Lacey a red card. I warned the fan base about this referee during the game before Shea Lacey came on. I warned him and I said, this referee doesn't like Man United, and he proved it that day, didn't he? He proved it. An absolute clown, you know. But in regards to Shea Lacey, I know he's suspended now, I think. Yeah, great to have him. Great to have him. And I wish him the best of luck. Ruben was able to get injury-prone players fit for longer. He worked miracles, mate, but people will never understand it. Maybe in years' time, they won't understand what we're talking about. How many managers have lost their jobs and players, Shaw, Dalot and Maguire are still there? Exactly. And you know what they're doing again? Same old talk, same old promises, same old buzzwords, sound bites, same old. Don't fall for that. They are to blame as well, right? But I don't think this was in particular a player problem this time, apart from Mainu and Rashford and all that jazz. I think this is actually an ego problem with Ineos, with Jason Wilcox. I think they hurt their ego, especially Wilcox. I think his ego was hurt. That is how soft Snowflake FC. Jason Wilcox's ego was hurt. That is why, you know what, we're in this situation now. You know, it was not footballing reasons. As much as people want to talk about footballing reasons and that, it was certainly not footballing reasons. Will we lose on Saturday? I'm going to do my match preview. I'll let you know. Sounds like the Super League idea all over again. Get there just enough to not have to spend money. That's exactly as Osman. This is business motto, especially with the Glazers, how they work. Spend the least to get the maximum. That is exactly what Qatar are saying. They're purposely failing. You know, maybe the wording is a little bit different, but they're purposely aiming for the mediocrity. They're aiming for the, how would I say it, the minimum, the Flamengo. You know, I'm just about as high. They're aiming for that. So, guys, this is the ownership that we have. Whereas Qatar would have been like, we want to exceed the maximum. We want to exceed the maximum. We want to get to the top, just like the skyscrapers. We want to get to the top. We want to be the biggest, the highest, the best. That's how Qatar think. And he's absolutely right. PSG, guys. People talk a lot about PSG. PSG are not a big club. They have no heritage, guys. Before Qatar came into PSG, they had not won a league in 22 years or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and this is what in France, their claim to fame, they had George Weah, Nicolas Anelka back in the day, and they had these players and stuff like that. And, you know, that's about it. They were just a club in Paris. That's it. You know, they're never in Europe. They're never doing anything and stuff like that. And there we are, you know. Now, if Qatar took charge of Man United, he's exactly right. If Qatar took charge of Man United, imagine what they could have done with Man United. Imagine Man United with no debt. Imagine Man United with no Glazers. Imagine United with a full pot of money to just go, pew. Right, you play for Man United. For example, guys, I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. We signed Sesko. I like Sesko, and I wish Sesko the best. We splashed 70 million on Sesko. Sesko's not working. Who else can we get? We signed another striker. It's not working. Sign another one until we get it right. That's what Qatar do. You know, that's what Qatar do. Dalot, Shaw, Maguire, gone. You know, absolutely out the door. Tesfa, what's going on, my friend? How are we doing? Well, I think Ineos are the worst. The cut jobs, even cut food menu in Carrington, saved some money in the same for PSR. Then they paid 30 to 40 million on bringing and sacking two managers. Paid more than that. They sacked Ashford as well. Let's not forget that as well. Let's not forget that old chestnut. Do you know what I mean? Frauds. They spent more on sacking Amarim, right, than sacking all those thousands of people. You know? Now, they could have kept those thousands of people, couldn't they, at the end of the day? You know, and that is exactly what we're talking about here. Incompetent fools. Ownership is in the mud, guys. In the mud. Everyone that must fuck up the Manchester derby, big event, have that match abandoned. That will hit hard. Then the Arsenal match and the Liverpool match. You know, this is the problem. I understand that, Kula. I understand that. This is the problem that they just want to. They're aiming at what is it? What game is it that they're aiming for? They're aiming for a game in a couple of weeks. They should just aim at the next game. That's it. Every game it should be. It shouldn't be, oh, on that date, we're going to do this. On that date, we're going to do this. So, you know what I mean? Why? Just do it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Richard, you are a gold prat, and the worst thing to happen to United fan base, just spreading toxicity, negativity, and misinformation, and sheep you have on your channels will follow your every word. Richard, you know what I say sometimes? That's life, mate. I can't please everyone, Richard. But Richard, you know what? I'm here for you, brother. I'm here for you. Don't worry, mate. I've done a lot for this fan base, mate. I've done a lot for this community. I've done a lot for Man United. I was the only one being positive all the way through Ruben Amorim's tenure. The only one. And Eric Ten Hag. I was the only one. I don't slander players. I don't call players frauds. I don't go over the top. All I do is call out the rats that have ruined this football club. Now, if you can't handle that, then I suggest you go and support another football team, because these are the guys that have destroyed this football club. These are the guys that destroyed this football club. My guy, listen, you're talking to me, and I'll give you the time to talk to you. I know people at the football club, pal. You know what I mean? So if you want to talk to me, talk with a tone, relax, learn your facts, right? Notice that, learn your facts. I've been to over 500 fucking games at Man United, mate. I traveled the world watching Man United. You want to talk about me? Go to Saeed's channel or Rand's channel and do it on that channel, fella, because we're not negative here. We call out facts. Ineos and the Glazers are a problem. That is what we're talking about. We're not talking about players, and we're not talking about, oh, he's rubbish, or he's a fraud and this and that. We were backing Ruben Amorim all the way to the end, my guy. Right? So listen, all due respect, I'm not rude. You're a human being. Right? But you got to be careful. Don't walk into hell blindfolded, because you will get burned. And on this occasion, my guy, you've been burned. Right? I can go a lot deeper. Okay? So don't do that. All right? Don't come on this channel and start talking your smack. All right? Comprende? Acha? Great. Nice one. Enjoy your day. Big up, everyone. This isn't fucking FIFA. Look, here we go. This isn't fucking FIFA. I think you play FIFA, mate. I still play FIFA. Mark, if Jim Ratcliffe loved United like he says he does, he would have allowed the Glazers to remain by investing into their show. They would have stepped aside and let the Saudis, the Qataris buy the club. Mark, yeah, they would have done. Or the Saudis or anyone else right now, of course. Afad, whilst government intervened in the Chelsea saga, why can't they not do the same with the Glazers? The whole takeover now. Let me give you, I'm going to go a little bit controversial here, guys. The reason they don't intervene with the Glazers is because the Glazers are American. That's it. If the Glazers are Qatari, if the Glazers are Russian, Abramovich, because you know what? I'm not going to talk politics on here, but we all know who's creating the tragedies over here, guys. You know what I mean? The genocide and that. You know what I mean? At the moment. So what I would say is that, yeah, you're absolutely right. What the Glazers did in 2005, in retrospect, is illegal now. What they did then is illegal now. It cannot happen. So I find it astonishing that the Glazers, whose debt in Man United, I think it was about 500 million when they purchased the football club, now is about over $1 billion, 1.1 billion, 1.2 billion, that they're still allowed to own this football club. And they're not forced to sell this football club. You know what I mean? I find it astonishing, but you said it there. It's right there, live and live in color, guys. If they're American or British or something, then it would be different. Richard is not a United fan. Yeah, definitely not. 100% that. I got that. I clocked that bit straight away. Richard, are you special? How is Goldie and Sal even the same? Sal only speaks facts. Thank you so much, Albie. He's an idiot, mate. He's an idiot. And there's nothing wrong with Goldbridge. You're just jealous because Goldbridge is successful. And that's it. You know what I mean? Goldbridge makes money. He's more of a fan than those other fan channels out there. So you know what you can do? At the end of the day, guys, you know what? Look, these guys, no one listens to them. I gave him a platform. I gave him a voice. He's made himself look like a prat. And that's it. You can live with that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And that's life. You know what I mean? Sometimes you reap what you sow, don't you? Absolutely. Richard, we are $1 billion in debt because of people like Richard. Exactly that. Richard, what the fuck are the Glazer Ineos are not spending big? Which is needed? Exactly. John, you are Manchester United saint. Hey, big up, John. Big up myself. Me too, Richard. You know what? My first game. You know how I became a Man United fan, Richard? I'm from London. I'm a London mank. I am a Cockney Red. Let me tell you something about how I became a Man United fan. My best friend was from Manchester when I was a child in 1986, all the way to between that time and 1989. I sporadically followed Man United until I went to the FA Cup final in 1990 against Crystal Palace, and I became a proper Man United fan. And from 1990, I travelled the world with Manchester United, even on my days at, Do you want me to tell you about, like, guys, if you're on this community, people know me. People know what I've done. You know, I'm known. But at the end of the day, look, I'm not none of those guys who try to profit from Man United. I don't make any money. I don't ask for super chats. I don't anything like that. I talk to Man United fans because I love Man United and I love the fans. And this is why I do it. Do you know what I mean? You know, no one is better than anyone else. Unfortunately, there are some fan channels, Richard, that have given Man United these fan channels or these content creators a bad name. There are. I call them out. The sides, the rants. You know, the other guy, Adam Matic, all these guys, they've given Man United a bad name because they're only interested in what's good for them, what's good for their pockets, what's good for their VIP passes and things like that. Anyway, never mind. Never mind. Bless your mum and dad. David, if you're in debt, it means you're almost bankrupt. So United is almost bankrupt. That's so sad. Our club is the biggest in the world. The government needs time investigating the Glazers. The government won't. You know what? That is the only way the Glazers are going to leave. It's the government. The government needs to intervene. The government needs to say, right. Someone said it on the show to channel the other day. They said if the government turned around and said, like, you know what, Man United, $1 billion in debt, you need to sell or clear your debt or leave. They have to. Man United should be held in higher regard than the government holds us in. You know, we should be listed. We should be a club that shouldn't be owned by, you know, people who just want to milk from us. I mean, you know, it's hard to explain to people about what Man United are right now. It's hard to explain, like, what Man United were, how they purchased Man United. Because a lot of people say, well, you know, Man United are a listed company. Anyone could buy them, you know, a traded company. Anyone can go and put money into Man United and that, you know. But it's not about that. That's true. Man United could. Anyone could go and buy Man United, put money into Man United. But at that time, they got a loan out and put that loan on the football club. So every single profit that was coming out, like, was paying their debts from Man United and not going towards the football team, which was evident during that period where we got to the heights of 2008, won the Champions League and the double. But then, obviously, you saw the decline. You saw the Ronaldo, Sal, right? And you saw the replacement. You saw Gabriel Bertans. You saw the Owens, didn't you? You saw the Antonio Valencias, with all due respect. You saw that, didn't you? And you saw the decline of the Glazers. You know? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sanjay. Big up, my friend. Well, Sal, big up, my guy. Should do what they did to Roman at Chelsea. They won't do it because at the end of the day, it doesn't fit a political narrative. Let's not beat around the bush. It's a political narrative that Russia are bad, Americans are good. Russia are bad, Americans are good. Too many Disney cartoons. Maybe if they delved a little bit deeper into the Middle East, they're far better than the guys in charge, mate. Just because they dress different than you, look different than you, doesn't mean they're bad people. You know what I mean? Idiots. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mark. Ineos have stopped dividends on their chemicals company. Everything they touch turns to shit. Yeah. But don't worry, they're building more. When they build, they're going to build more chemical plants and that. Don't worry about that. And that is the truth. Underneath Old Trafford, it is actually there already, by the way. Vernon, Richard is a Glazers supervisor. If he's a fan from the 80s, he would know that the heritage and the shame what the Glazers are doing to the club. Yeah. Look. Glazers have loved depth and it's tax-free. It's protect their wealth and expense of the club supporters simultaneously against business. Problem is that Amram should have been sacked. He shouldn't have been sacked, Richard. No. Alex Ferguson should have been sacked. Win ratio, listen, let me tell you someone who's actually done things in life, who was in the music industry 20 years, was in the, worked with legends and stuff like that. Let me tell you, from a little kid in Leytonstone to doing that, let me tell you how you become successful. It's not just about straight away, click my fingers, you get to standards. And this is something that I've been trying to explain to the minions for a very long time. When you try to lay foundations, there's going to be turbulence. There's going to be bumps on the road, right? But unfortunately, it's survival of the fittest. Those who can take the losses, right, will succeed. We needed to be a little bit more patient. In 14 months, we defeated Liverpool at Anfield, Crystal Palace away from home, Chelsea, Arsenal at the Emirates, Man City at Etihad in 14 months, right? Yes, we had some bumps on the road, the Grimsby. People are going to throw that, but you don't need tactics against Grimsby. That was down to Onana and all them lot. We were 3 points from fourth. With a depleted team, bad squad, serial failures, AFCON was going on, injuries, and then we're still 3 points from fourth. Now, maybe, just maybe, if Sesko put away his chances, that's not down to Ruben Amorim. And he didn't want Sesko, by the way. He wanted someone else. And maybe, just maybe, we start taking up. We had a better squad. Maybe if Ineos and the Glazers invested in the midfield and the wing backs, we might have won some of those draws or drawn some of those losses. 2 defeats in 11. Results do not back up your theory. And that is what we're talking about. We were getting there. And not only that, we were starting to dominate games, which people don't look at. Unfortunately, people are too inclined to look at stats and not facts. Big up, Sal. Big up. In your opinion, does this feel like the possible start of the landslide for the ownership leading to the hostile takeover? This is the most aware I've seen the fans since the Fergie retired. I hope so, mate. I can only say I hope so. I really do. 50 likes, everyone. Thank you, man. Thank you. Apparently, share oil under Carrington. Yes. They've got a few things, mate. Don't worry about that. If you know, you know. Tesfa, if you should have a dignity and tell the truth. Your guy is sucking the life out of the club you love. Exactly that. Exactly that. Glazers basically wanted the help of banksters. Basically stole United. Yep. Helped United. Helped Ferguson helped the Glazers get United. He got greedy over the horse. Yeah. Yeah. But we can't, I find very uncomfortable talking about Alex Ferguson because he's a legend. He will always be a legend. He gave me the best moments of my career. And the reason I'm here, you're here, and all the fans around the world are here is because of Sir Alex. That's what I would say. But obviously, yes, he did facilitate the Glazers because obviously a horse. Of course, here we are, guys. But guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please, guys, before I leave, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, put your notifications on. I'll be back later on for Chatterbox with the latest and the greatest. Of course, I will go live once the managerial announcement is announced. Should be very, very soon, guys. We're literally hours from it, I think. So, guys, let's wait and see. And let's just be positive until the game on Saturday. We can try it, all right? But, guys, thank you again for your support. And don't forget to smash a like. On the way out, guys, I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, and I'll see you later for Chatterbox. Take it easy, guys. Peace.